Mr. Howe, as the editor of a magazine called Race Today, you have recently published a document in which you say, "We are uncompromisingly against mugging. We see the mugging activity as a manifestation of powerlessness, a consequence of being without a wage." Could you tell me what you mean by that?
Well, firstly, the statement is in response to what has been paraded in the press and by Scotland Yard on the question of the increase in crime among unemployed youth. The young people have begun the rebellion, refusing to work. They have received very little support from other sections of the population, as a consequence of which they must find money by these means. We say we are against those means, not because we are moralists, not because we are religious freaks, but precisely because mugging involves loss of life and liberty and a continuing attack upon that section of the black community, police brutality, prison brutality, a whole wastage of human creativity. That is why we were against it.
Could I also put it to you that you are yourself rather patronizing of many of your fellow members of your community in the way in which you refer to people who work on, say, London Transport, for instance? Your phrase for it is shit work. Aren't many people, both white and black, very proud to work for organizations like that?
I have met very few black people who do not come home and complain in the presence of their children about the mercilessness of the exploitation they suffer, about the difficulties of the job, about the abuse of white passengers to them, and the young blacks listen to them in the home. Now they might come on television and say something else for public relations purposes because they feel they are not strong enough to speak the truth. That's another question. But young blacks who have grown up in small flats and single rooms with their parents are well educated without having to work there as to what kind of job it is, except the education that drives them to that conclusion is really given by the parents who come from work every day, and the young blacks see a certain kind of person which they would not like to reproduce.